Presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in 2023 election, Atiku Abubakar has accused the President Bola Tinubu-led administration of diverting public funds through the payment of fuel subsidy. The former vice president said this in a statement in Abuja on Thursday. He was reacting to a statement issued by the presidency. And Atiku explained that the clandestine fuel subsidy regime was one of the reasons investments in the oil sector had refused to come in. He said Tinubu has brought the shady nature of running Lagos to the federal level. He claims that subsidy is gone, but his special advisor on energy has said that they are intervening from time to time, while his finance minister, Wale Edun, has described subsidy removal as an ongoing process. These were the words of Atiku, and also he said a document authored by the coordinating minister of the economy revealing how much subsidy is being paid is now being disowned by the very authors of this document. Both the World Bank and the IMF have revealed in separate reports that Nigeria is still paying petrol subsidies. But the Tinubu's government has refused to come clean. Even a senior member of the APC had revealed that subsidy was being paid. These were the words of Atiku. He also said he must come clean on this subsidy issue since he doubles as the petroleum minister. The Tinubu administration should be courageous enough to own their policies and outcome with their full chest and responsible enough to be accountable for their actions in Nigeria or to Nigerians. The National Assembly needs to be alive to its responsibility, especially in the area of this oversight. Posterity will not be kind to members of the National Assembly if they continue to look the other way while daylight robbery is taking place. This is not the first person who's coming out to talk about subsidy. We've had guests on this show who have time and time again asked, if subsidy has been taken away, then tell us where the money is channeled to. Well, these are questions that Nigerians have raised ever since the announcement of subsidy removal. Now, this is a statement of Atiku. What are your thoughts?
Well, you know, since the Tinubu administration started romancing with the IMF and the World Bank by way of taking loans and so on, you know, I suspected that something fishy has been going on. Because, you know, these IMF loans and World Bank loans are not given to you for free. There are certain conditions attached to them. One of such conditions is subsidy. The second one is structural adjustment. You know, initially we talked about austerity. During the time of the military ruler, Babangida, it was a structural adjustment program. People protested and so on. So it is not surprising that this revelation has been made.
Before you go on now, you said one of the such adjustments or one of such
structural
subsidy. What do you mean?
Subsidy removal. You know what? When you remove subsidy on petroleum product, you know, the West, China and others, they know that we don't have the capacity to refine PMS, for instance, petrol for domestic consumptions. So when they remove subsidy on petroleum products, chances are that those powers, you know, that China has built refineries even in Africa. So when they take our oil, then they take the crude oil, they take it to Singapore, Malaysia to refine and resell it to us. So by the end of the day, those who are giving us those loans will buy the oil cheaply, take them abroad, take the oil abroad, and refine it, and sell the finished product, AGO, the diesel, petrol. They sell it back to us as an exorbitant price.
But this has been going on ever since before the loans were collected.
No. That was why, you see, one of the things the IMF and the World Bank are doing to Nigeria is that they try to scuttle all efforts at building refineries. They are not in charge, but there is a way they work around it. And they make government, you know, ineffective. They weaken the government so that government will not be able to stand up to the idea of building new refineries. Now, I take the Port Harcourt refineries as an example. Way back in 2020, they were telling us about Port Harcourt refineries will work. In December 2021, the refineries will work. That time came, nothing happened. 2022, they shifted the goalpost. Then 2023, they continue to shift the goalpost. Till today, they are shifting the what? Goalpost. These refineries will not work because they are taking loans from the... It is not Tinubu alone that took loans from them. The only difference is that the Buhari administration went to the east. They went more to the east. They went more to China to take Chinese loans. But these loans they have conditions. In the case of the Chinese loans...
Conditions like your refinery should not be functional?
No, they will not say that.
So how does that affect...
They will just tell you, remove subsidy on petroleum products. When they say that, then there are other measures they will take to cripple the system. By increasing, Nigeria is a consumer nation. We consume virtually everything. This morning I was, after charging my lantern, my radio lamp, I looked at it and said, everything here is made in China. My phone is Techno, made in China. The other one is Infinix, made in China. This lantern, made in China. I looked at the spoons, made in China. Wow. Virtually everything. China is in the house of...
That means you're not buying Nigeria products.
No.
You're not patronizing Nigeria.
No, Nigeria cannot...
Because we have spoons, we have lamps. Why are you buying the ones that are made in China?
All the lamps in Nigeria are made in China. The solar light you see, a good number of them are made in China. Though Abba is coming up with that technology.
There's a part of Abba called China. Called China.
Yes. They even made in Abba, they will say made in what? China. So now that we have started taking loans from them, I thought that this the Tinubu administration will mark itself clearly out of that trajectory. But that is still the same thing that is happening. When it is worse, when the West is wooing you, China is even better. By my estimation, China was better than going, because they have conditions. They don't give you something for free. When they give you something, there are a lot of things attached. It is not surprising that, I think some 2 or 3 months ago, RFI raised this issue of government paying subsidies secretly. So many people thought it was just an alarmist. Some other people in their pockets of write-ups and so on have also pointed to the fact that the Tinubu administration is quietly paying what? Subsidies. The question is, if we are paying subsidies and petroleum products are this high, the question is, where is the government taking this subsidy money to? Because we are buying petrol not at a subsidized rate any longer since May 29, 2023, when the president said subsidy is what? Gone. But from that pronouncement till date, Nigeria has not found, nobody is smiling in Nigeria. Then beyond that, in order to cover up, government will, of course, Tinubu, even as a governor of Lagos State, he is known for imposing all manner of taxes. Electricity tariff hike, it will come. So hike. Is it one thing in a vehicle? Is it there's a particular document? So that one we have to pay 100 naira, 1,000 naira every year. Those are things that are immaterial. Then all manner of taxes. If you go to, for you to do a contract with the federal government, apart from your CAC, you need the Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund. You register there, tax. You go to the Industrial Training Fund, ITF, tax. You go to the PENCOM, the pension, National Pension Scheme, where it is compulsory, where you pay money so that, anybody you are employing, they are paid pension. Then you also go to the Bureau of Public Procurement if your government is going to procure materials to do the contract. So you see an average of 5 main documents. This is why I was saying if the Nigerian liquefied natural gas say they don't have any document to tender, it's very funny. I read about it. It's very funny because as a contractor, as a procurement officer, you must produce these 5 documents for you to even talk of, submitting a tender or to bid for any contract. So I am in line with, I want to take sides in this matter with Atiku, because Nigerians are suffering. Cost of living crisis is going on. Our infrastructure is also decaying. The exchange rate of the naira per, Nigeria is a dollarized economy. Everything is denominated in the dollar.
So all of these are indications that subsidy is being paid?
That is it. The exchange rate is very high. The dollar is always gaining advantage over the naira. Because of that, it is this cost of living crisis that has generated issues like minimum wage increase. Some may say, if the federal government can pay, what of some states that are not generating enough money?
Exactly.
But for whatever it is what, a worker deserves his what? Wages. And if...
All right, since some Nigerians actually feel like the president's administration is paying subsidies secretly somehow, and then they're like, if you're not doing that, then answer some of these questions that we have in Nigeria. Let's look at the next story.